Today is May 1st, 2015. My name's Ted Doskaris. This is my Aristocraft garden scale train. It also includes USA Trains cars on it. This is a model of the Southern Pacific Daylight, and it's probably more closely akin in its makeup as I have the consist set up as to the Valley Daylight, which had maybe a little bit more eclectic mix of cars in that in later years, but still under the Daylight scheme. It had some Smoothsides cars, which were apparently originally purchased for the Shasta Daylight, mixed in with traditional fluted side Daylight cars. So this particular model has two heavyweights as head-end cars. One's an RPO and the other's a baggage car, which are in the Daylight paint schemes, which according to the books I have were reasonable. I had spotted some pictures showing they were decorated in the Daylight scheme. So all these engines and cars on this train have Kadee centerset couplers. The couplers on the engines are Kadee 907s, but body mounted, and they are body mounted in custom made aluminum black anodized metal coupler boxes because they fit and are extra strong. And the boxes were designed by me and made by Datum Precision in Grass Valley, California. And the heavyweight cars, the two that are on this train, have Kadee 907 body mount couplers body mount in their Kadee boxes, and also the rest of the cars have Kadee 906 type body mount couplers, including the USA Trains cars, which are three of them on this train. They happen to be two coaches and a diner, and the other cars are smoothside cars, Aristocraft smoothside cars, and of course they have Kadee 907 couplers as well. They're all center set couplers. So I'm about to run the train outdoors. Increase the power here. So it's 9 cars long. The heavyweights, well, the engines are weighted to about almost 14 pounds. The cars, the heavyweights, I happen to add some weight to this one. It weighs about a little over 6 pounds. The baggage car I didn't add weight to. It's a little under 5 pounds. I think 4.8 or 4.9 pounds. The aluminum Aristocraft smoothside cars weigh about somewhere near 5 pounds. And the USA Trains cars are really heavy, and they weigh almost 10 pounds. In fact, the diner weighs 10.04 pounds according to my scale. Coach is a little bit lighter. It's about 9.8 or so. So at any rate, we'll go outdoors. And the train's running across the reinforced LGB bridge here. And it's going to go up my double loop. So the train's fairly heavy that the engines have to pull, so that's why I added some more weight. The wheels were starting to slip even though there's 2 engines on it. The engines weigh about 9.4 pounds as they came from the factory. These are Aristocraft E9s, and essentially the same as the Aristocraft E8s, just decorated a little bit differently. And with all the weight of these 9 cars, I needed a little more traction. So there's the observation car there. That's an Aristocraft smoothside. The heavyweight cars have 3-axle trucks, and I set the wheel gauge on them to the lower side of the NMRA spec, which was 1.57 inches back-to-back spacing. And I did so because the long wheelbase on those trucks increased the angle of attack when it would approach some of the turnouts, and would want to pick parts of the turnout and climb over, even though I had already really calibrated all my turnouts. So it was an interesting discovery. So here the train is on the second loop, or beginning the second loop. The average grade is about 2.2%. Parts of it are like in that lower part of the loop. That corner is close to 3%, and then it was relaxed to under 2% in some of the other sections. The overall average is about 2.2%, which is about the grade of the Tehachapi Loop and parts of the Donner Pass in California. So here's the train climbing up to the upper level of my backyard. It's going to go into the middle path here. Better check my turnouts, see that they're thrown right, that one is thrown correctly. That's a train lie R7. Most of them are number 6s outdoors, except where I put in switch tracks for spurs because of space limitations. I designed the coupler spacing and mountings on all these cars for mounting these Kadee couplers so that the cars can operate on 8-foot diameter curves, which is pretty tight. These curves outdoors are around this part here is some of it's about 10-foot diameter, and then it relaxes out a bit. Here's an Aristocrat Y switch, so it's set correctly. So that's my horseshoe curve here. So now it's going down grade. This grade going down here is about 2.5%. Going over two Aristocrat number 6 turnouts. All my track rails outdoors are stainless steel. The ones under the house are brass. And it's track power. And I have a Aristocrat Revolution base station here. So I'll switch the track here for the next loop when it comes around to go to the outside loop, which is along the fence line back here. And here it's coming around the horseshoe curve again. And I'll have to switch this train line turnout for the, so when it comes around the outside loop. Should go to the outside loop here. Along the fence line. We'll go over the viaduct here on the horseshoe curve. We'll come around the tree here and go down grade. The USA Trains cars have people inside, where the Aristocrat cars are low cost and just have tinted windows. I think the newer ones offered by Polk's Generation Next are, well, they don't make the Smoothsides yet in Polk's Generation Next. They have the fluted side bud type cars, and they have seats in them now with, and I think you could put optional people in them. But the Aristocrat Smoothside cars are construction-wise pretty related to the Aristocrat or Polk's Generation Next, the successor company to their fluted side cars, which are replicas of Bud cars. Although those Bud cars that Aristocrat and Polk's Generation Next make are really about 20% shorter than they should be, and it probably was done for people to allow them to work on tighter curves and smaller layouts. But all these cars here are fairly long, and so they're more realistic, including the Aristocrat Smoothsides. And the Aristocrat Smoothsides are about 1.25 inches shorter than the USA Trains Streamliners. Hard to tell the difference by looking at it. Come around the curve once more, and that'll be it for the video.